What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Fitness with Kevin. I'm Kevin. Today, we have a very special guest on our show. This is my friend, Anton.
How you doing, Kevin? Hey guys, exciting times. Today we're gonna learn how to do a planche.
All right. So Anton, can you explain how much load you're actually putting on your body and your shoulders?
Yeah, I think it's very essential that you know exactly how much weight you're gonna have to overcome, how much force you're gonna have to overcome to get your body in that position. So one thing I would recommend you start off by doing is a frog stand. Now the frog stand is quite a bit easier than a full planche, obviously, for multiple reasons. One is your hands are not straight out, but you can work your way to getting them straight out. And two, the center of mass in a frog stand is very close to your core, which makes things easier. As soon as you start pulling away from the core, you're gonna require more force, more stability. So let's get into a frog stand. In a frog stand, I'll recommend you start by bending at the elbows, maybe about 90 degrees, whatever you're comfortable with. But the point of the exercise is to eventually be able to do a frog stand with your arms straight out. So I'm gonna start by showing you a frog stand with a 90-degree angle. You place your arms as comfortable, could be a foot to 2 feet apart, and you bring yourself up. Once you can comfortably hold this position for at least, I would say 2 to 3, and I don't try to measure things in seconds, because trying to count seconds while you're getting into a difficult skills movement is very counterproductive. So my rule of thumb is be able to take 2 to 3 really good breaths before you transition to the next step. So now I'm going to show you a frog stand with your arms completely straight out. And that's what we're trying to work our way up to, is getting your arms completely straight out. Two to 3 good breaths, that's all it takes. Now, if you want more, you can try a progression phase where you go from a frog stand all the way up into a handstand. Now, I definitely recommend that you're capable of doing a handstand before you attempt a planche. A handstand is quite a bit easier. It involves more balance, quite a bit less strength, but it does place quite a bit of pressure on your shoulders, so you're gonna strengthen those shoulders. So now for the frog stand to a handstand progression. You're gonna start into a frog stand, get a good breath in before you transition.
So Anton, can you show us the progressions and how you get to the full planche?
Yeah, definitely. I think the very first thing you need to master is a tuck planche. Now in the tuck planche, we're still gonna have our arms straight out, except we're gonna tuck our body in. I'm gonna demonstrate what a tuck planche is, basically. Now you won't be able to hold a tuck planche for at least, I would say, once again, I don't want to use time as an example. Everybody talks about 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute. Do not count while you're in a tuck planche position. You have better things to do. You got to think about the position you're in, and you got to think about breathing. Those are the important things. So make sure that in a tuck planche, you can get 3 to 4 really good deep breaths. Maybe a good breath would be about 4 or 5 second count. Don't count, just breathe. And after the tuck planche, we're going to go into an advanced tuck planche. Now the only difference between a tuck planche and an advanced tuck planche is I'm gonna bring my back up and leveled with the ground. So my back is gonna be parallel to the ground.
And I noticed that you always want to keep your arms straight. Don't bend
Yes,
your arms, right?
yeah.
I know.
So, as we talked before, as soon as you start bending the arms, your body will want to bend the arms because your body wants to recruit more muscles. It wants more muscle fibers to overlap. But you got to overcome that.
Gotcha. And can you show us what we can do to get to, like, after the advanced tuck planche, the straddle planche, and then the full planche, and then the transition to that? I know a lot of people use parallettes as well.
Yeah, so I'm gonna show you the straddle planche on the parallettes just as another option. We're gonna come over here. These are parallettes. You can use them exactly as the dip bars. Now, what you get from the parallettes that you don't get with the dip bars is a flexible width. So you can adjust them whether you're more comfortable bringing them closer in or wider out. So now this progression actually takes some time. Going from an advanced tuck planche into a straddle planche is gonna take you a while. And the main thing is you're actually bringing the lower back in because now you want your legs out and you're gonna have to hold those legs up with your lower back. So what I like to do personally, and you don't have to do it, you can just go from a tuck planche, advanced tuck planche into the straddle. I like to go from an L sit. It just kind of gives me a perspective that I am comfortable with the straddle planche. So I'm gonna start into an L sit and go to a straddle planche.
That was beautiful. Wow. So you want to do the swings, right? From
Yeah.
to the, and then just hold it there, or how do you?
So another reason why L sit, I like transitioning from the L sit, is that if you're not fully comfortable with holding a straddle planche, actually using that angular momentum helps you quite a bit. So you can start off by transitioning fairly quickly, but the idea here is to eventually do it very slow and very well controlled.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Because right now, I mean, I guess my problem with I'm at advanced tuck planche right now, but see, my problem is I'll hold the advanced tuck planche, and then I just can't get my hips up. So how do I bring my feet higher like you?
So when it comes to bringing your feet higher up and parallel with the ground at the same level as your body, it really comes down to your lower back, because it's going to be a lot of lower back supporting that movement.
Okay.
So what you want to do, and what I like to do, is actually play around, starting in the position that you're in and just coming in and out, kind of feeling what's failing. Is it my lower back? Is it my hips? Is it my glutes? So I'm going to demonstrate what I like to do is actually get into a straddle planche and kind of come down and up and be comfortable with that position.
Okay, so you're going up and down just to get that body.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just like to know exactly how much pressure is put on my muscles and where that pressure is and where I'm most comfortable.
Wow, well, thanks so much for showing us all those progressions. So after you finally get to the straddle planche and you can hold that for a few good seconds, how do you transition from the straddle planche to the full planche?
Well, let me show you the transition first. And this last but definitely not least, this is most likely going to be your most difficult progression of all, is the straddle planche to a full planche. Now, in order to do that, it's going to take some hard work. Getting your body in a full planche position and holding it there is going to require a lot of effort. So one thing I recommend you do is use angular momentum to your advantage in order to get a good feel of what it takes to do a full planche. So what I recommend you try is doing L-sit into a full planche transitions. And I'll show you a couple of those transitions.
Wow, Anton, thanks so much for coming on the show and teaching us how to do a planche, spreading the knowledge. That was really, really helpful, so thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you for having me on the show and allowing me to share this experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey guys, make sure you guys follow Anton on Instagram. I'll post the links below. If you like this video, remember to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and remember to eat healthy, get enough rest, drink enough water. And till then, this is Fitness with Kevin. This is Anton. See y'all later.